Oh, and another game where Billy Napier and this Florida offense continues to do exactly what they've done the previous 2 weeks. Graham, this is bad, man. One offense tonight on the offense, one offensive touchdown. Last week, one offensive touchdown against USF. I think Florida tallied exactly 141 yards as Florida just went 3-and-out on their final drive of the game. Might want to add it up and run up the score. Florida had one drive where they went 80 yards and they got 4 first downs. Other than that, they had 3 first downs outside of that game, for the offense for the rest of the game, and they totaled about 60 yards of offense outside of that one drive where they scored a touchdown. There's not words that can describe this offense and how they play tonight, man. Defense plays so well. Special teams has 10 players on field goal block. It's just the same thing over and over and over and over again.
The biggest shame of this game is people that maybe didn't watch the full thing or just kind of tuned in and out if you're not a Gator or Miami fan, you're watching other games and just kind of tuning in and out and between commercials and whatnot. You're going to come away from this game thinking that Florida's defense gave up 26 points, if not more. We'll see. And you're going to be like, man, the defense quit. The defense, they gave up 4+ touchdowns, whatever. And the defense played their guts out. They played, listen, against the number 4 team in the country and probably going to move up even further after this week. The defense played plenty well enough to win. Plenty well enough. The guys that played significant snaps on defense and Ron Roberts and the rest of the defensive staff, they deserve to enjoy a win this Saturday night. For the head coach and for his 5-star quarterback, I can't say the same. I mean, look, it's the game for the most part. I'm not really counting the last 5-10 minutes when things kind of went off the rails, but for the most part, like in the game when things still mattered and guys on both sides still had something to play for, the game was mostly kind of a defensive struggle and a run the ball, burn clock type of game. So being low scoring is whatever. But to be an absolute complete zero for literally not just the entire first half, Dylan, but the entire game outside of the one drive you just talked about. They have been unable to do literally anything outside of that one drive that only got sparked because they, for once, had a nice play call, pitch to the right to Jacoby Jackson. Miami wasn't really ready for it. Finally caught them off balance, and Jacoby Jackson ripped off a big run, and they capitalized on that momentum and eventually found themselves in the end zone. Dylan, to say this offense is broken would be generous.
I mean, have you seen an offense and a half in your lifetime where they played that bad?
No, no. And you're talking to two guys that have grown up watching the Jaguars, bro. You're talking to two guys that have watched Blake Bortles and Blaine Gabbert.
I'm just thinking of
dude, Treon Harris, Skylar Morningweg never looked this bad.
Jack Miller. Let me give you that name for the big.
Oh my God. I will say that the only time that I think an offensive performance was somewhat comparable to what I just watched was that Vegas Bowl.
Yeah.
In 2022 with Jack Miller as the starter. That was maybe the only other time. And that's a bowl game. Tons of dudes had opted out. Jack Miller hadn't played all season. They just threw him in for the bowl game because they had to. Like, whatever. You can chalk that up to bowl game. Everybody's checked out. Season's over anyways. Dude, this is week 4, bro. In a season that's supposed to be big time with your 5-star quarterback and all these new weapons at wideout. And, I mean, they couldn't do anything. The passing game was the most useless passing game I've ever seen. And look, we talked last week. I would say through stuff I tweeted and stuff that we talked about, I kind of took up for Lagway a little bit last week Because, like, yeah, he obviously played horrible and forced a bunch of throws. I'm not trying to say he didn't play. He played horrendous. But I was making the argument last week that he's in an offense that sets him up to fail. And that's still true, but it's also on him, too, at this point. I mean, the most concerning thing, Dylan, to me is when they cut to him on, like, ISO shots, and he could not look more dejected and out of it and just no confidence. And he's deer in headlights all the time now. And it's like, where's the dude that had swag and threw the ball with confidence? Like, that dude has been completely yanked out of him by the guy we know and love, Billy Napier. I mean, it's horrible, bro. It's horrible that Tom Brady wouldn't have confidence in this offense.
No.
Agree or disagree?
No, 100%. I mean, it's just that offense at the half. Let me read you what they did at the half for the Gator fans. That's they had 1 first down at halftime, 32 yards. Your leading receiver was Jaden Ball, 3 catches for 9 yards. But by God, Tony Livingston got his 1 catch. Eugene Wilson had 1 catch. Jacoby Jackson had 1 catch. Let's see what else happened. You got 28 passing yards, 4 on the ground. And Graham, I'd texted you, it was like Florida gets the ball. I think Florida got the ball first. They did 3 and out. And you're like, sweet. Miami gets it right down the field, and you're like, okay, this is gonna be one of those games. And you're like, all right, this second drive for Florida on offense, it's you're gonna have to either drop your nuts and do something, or you're about to get rolled because Meyer Cristobal is gonna do what he did to you last year in your place in the swamp, where he's gonna put up 40 plus, and there's not gonna be anything you can do about it. And dude, the defense didn't have Caleb Banks, they didn't have Gums, they had another DB go down. They had another D lineman go down. I mean, this defense is just having bodies just go down over and over and over again. And somehow they stay in this game. I don't know about you, Graham, and we talked about it a little bit when we were texting throughout the game. I honest to God, I don't know why Miami didn't go Wildcat and just run the ball, because we couldn't stop it all game. I mean, it was like every time Carson Beck went to go throw the pass, you're like, thank you. We're still in the game. Thank you.
If the only reason that Florida was able to make it a 1-possession game in the third quarter and make it somewhat interesting was because Miami didn't just run the ball every single play. If Miami had literally said, we're not throwing the ball for the rest of the game, then I think they would have scored at least a field goal probably almost every drive.
Yes.
That said, I'm still pretty much, for the most part, proud of how the defense played. I thought Ron Roberts showed up with a good game plan considering all the injuries. I thought the dudes that did play played well. Cormani with a huge play. I liked what I saw out of the defense, and I thought they played winning football tonight. But, by the way, I think you probably saw this too. Another special teams play with only 10 guys on the field.
Yep.
I mean, Scott Strickland, listen to me. Listen to me. Let me look straight in the camera.
He's not listening.
Billy Napier wants to be fired. Put him out of his misery. I mean, this is year 4, and we still can't count to 11 on special teams.
Yeah. Well, Graham, we don't have a special teams coordinator. We have a game changer. And it didn't happen tonight, but special teams has changed games. The safety.
Oh yeah, it has.
The safety against South Florida. Tennessee last year. I mean, it's like I said last week at the end of the show, dude. At the end of the game, we could copy and paste everything that we said against South Florida and paste it to LSU. And we could say everything we said about LSU and copy and paste it to today. I mean, Graham, I hate to go this far, man, but I think some of the kids I coach in high school football, I think they could call us a better offense than what we saw tonight, man. And I don't like doing that, man, and I never say things like that, but holy Piscoli, it's just so predictable.
Dylan, you can call a better offense than this, bro. And by the way, too, this gets back to DJ Lagway and the coaching, because I think both it's not 100-0. Like, both are at fault, right? Dude, early in the game, we finally in the second half started throwing a couple of screens to back off their blitz a little bit. But I want to say it was maybe the third or fourth drive. It gets to like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, something like that. DJ's back there in the shotgun. He's doing his clap. Everybody loves their clap, right?
Oh, he's clapping all right.
Yeah. And he's doing his clap. And I'm like, I called it out before the play. And like, I'm not exactly Sean McVay, Dylan. But if it's that obvious, I'll be able to pinpoint it and call something out pre-snap. I'm like, okay, they're blitzing the guy off the edge. They're blitzing the guy off the edge. They're blitzing the guy. And it was so obvious. DJ even went hard count. The dude almost jumped. Like, it was so obvious he was coming on the edge. And I don't believe there was a back on that side. And they were going to have too many guys for the tackle to get to him. He was going to come in unblocked. And that happens, Dylan, in football. Like, that happens. Like, QBs a lot of times know if someone's coming in from either side or up the middle, they know they're coming in unblocked, and they've got to have something to go to. There's got to be a hot route. They got to know where they're going with the ball when that is the case. Because if that guy's coming in, something's open. But your QB and your coach, if they haven't watched any film, they ain't going to know what's open. And it's DJ snapped the ball, and he dropped back like they're in prevent defense, and he's going to have 10 seconds to scan the field and throw the ball. And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? It's so clear you ain't got any time. He snaps the ball. It was coming from the – if you're DJ looking straight, it was coming from the right side. He snaps the ball, and he looks left. He doesn't even know there's a guy coming. How do you not know this? How do you not know this?
Dude, he's awful.
Your head coach is a former quarterback. He's your play caller. He's the offensive coordinator. And you are a 5-star in his second season. How do you guys not know this? To your point, Dylan, high schools know where that unblocked defender is coming. Do they not?
Most of the time they do.
Obviously not all the time, but like high school offenses that are competent, they know where an unblocked linebacker is coming, or an unblocked DB that's blitzing. They know where they're coming. How do the Florida Gators in year 2 of G.J. Lagway not know this? In year 4 of Billy Napier, I don't understand.
Lagway's terrible, man.
He's awful.
You can blame on whatever injury and not practicing. I mean, dude, we're 4 weeks in. It's like, dude, a lot of blame goes on Napier too. It does, but a lot of it too, I think, is Napier just doesn't have any trust in Lagway and what plays he can run. I mean, what plays do you trust that he can run right now? I mean, week 2 it was confidence against an inferior opponent. And then last week it's the 5 interceptions where you force him to throw 49 times. That's not going to help him at all. And then tonight it's like, I mean, what was the deepest throw they had? That corner where they ran, was it the first half? And it was like not even in the same vicinity. Like, I think there was one time where they threw the ball past 10 or 15 yards down the field. And you're not going to beat a good team that way, man. This isn't the days are long gone where wide receivers are getting in a 3-point stance and you're running the wing tee. It's just,
and by the
terrible,
way,
man.
We talk about scheme and lack thereof with Billy Napier a lot and how horrible the scheme is, because it is. The other thing that also sucks is the personnel decisions make no sense, dude. Like, okay, riddle me this, please. It's still a game. It's one possession. Gators decide to go for it on 4th and 4 to try to keep the drive alive and maybe go punch it in, and you take the lead at that point. I would have kicked the 3 there. I wanted the points. Looking back how the game finished, it obviously wouldn't have mattered either way, but they go for it. Whatever. You go for it. 4th and 4. Okay. First of all, they run the same exact play that got them the last 4th down. It's like, okay, I think Miami's going to be prepared for this exact same play. They got it the first time with Sturdivant. By the way, where were you when J. Michael Sturdivant made his one play for the Florida Gators in a consequential game and then immediately died afterwards? Hope he's well. I'm not trying to make light, but like he finally made a play and just that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so later in the drive, they're going to go for it on fourth, right? And who else to put in the hands to make a play?
Abrams.
Than TJ Abrams. I mean, what? The guy hasn't played all season, other than probably the second half against Long Island.
Graham, he was the unsung hero of the offseason. We were talking about all this receiver corps. That was the one guy we kept forgetting about, man. He was the seventh guy on the depth chart.
I mean, come on, bro. Like, TJ Abrams is who we're putting in the hand. Like, huh? How come constantly we got to get Tony Livingston involved and we got to get Hayden Hansen involved? And then we have a got to have it fourth down and we throw it to TJ Abrams. I mean, are you serious?
Which, by the way, that's the right play, but that's on Abrams for not getting to the sticks.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe
like everything's good
because he never plays.
Yeah.
How in that moment when you know you're going to throw the ball, how in the world do you not call a play for somebody not named Eugene Wilson or Vernell Brown? How? When knowing that Sturdivant's out, and even Sturdivant I probably wouldn't have called a play for. It's got to be one of those two guys. I mean, come on. It's got to be the receivers that have made plays for you. Yeah, Boga Jojo, whatever this dude's name is saying, no, Mizell. I don't know what's going on with the name Mizell, but he didn't even have his helmet on. Was he concussed or hurt or something? I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
You have to imagine there's something going on, but I don't get. But even if Mizell can't be part of the fold, how is TJ Abrams the guy you go to on a 4th and 4 when you've got to have? I cannot understand that for the life of me. And it's just so aggravating, man. Like this guy, and I tweeted about this too, Dylan, and tell me your thoughts on this. We talked about this USF week, but I want to bring it up again because the other side of what I was talking about has happened. So we talked about this against USF. So there was a drive in that game where Jaden Ball is getting like 8 yards a carry, right? Just ripping through the USF D line. They're getting chunk play after chunk play on the ground. And even when they're throwing it, it was nice rhythm throws, like some play actions for DJ, and he was actually like playing pretty well on that drive. They're moving the ball right on the field. And then they run some stupid ass reverse pass where they handed it off to, I think it was Eugene Wilson, who throws it back to Lagway, and he's supposed to, get a chunk, whatever. And it's like, you're getting like 8 yards a clip. Stop running stupid stuff for no reason. And then fast forward to tonight, because I said during that show that we did, I said, how come when they're in a rhythm on offense, Billy Napier wants to fuck it up with stupid shit? But then when they're not in a rhythm, he doesn't want to run anything creative or run any type of wrinkle. He just runs the same damn plays and beats his head against the same wall. I don't understand that. So fast forward to tonight, the entire first half, it's just 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3. They can't do anything, right? Every time DJ drops back, he's getting harassed, he's getting sacked, he can't find anybody, whatever. Every run is like -1. And there's nothing. That's the time to try to run a reverse pass. That's the time to try to run a halfback pass or try to run some type of misdirection because you can't do anything. So you got to try something else creative and just see if it works. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, why?
No, I no, definitely. It's
the opposite of how it's supposed to be.
Yes. You try to find a spark and you try to do something different when your stuff that you scripted, which is usually how the first half works, doesn't work. When clearly the stuff that you scripted and what you thought was good going into the game didn't work.
Yes.
Essentially.
This guy has first of all, his game plans aren't good anyways. They're already bad game plans, right? Like going into Saturday, what he cooked up throughout the week doesn't taste good. And then to make it worse, this guy has absolutely no feel for a game in any capacity at all. He doesn't have a feel for when to call the right play. He doesn't have a feel for counting to 11 on special teams. He doesn't have a feel for when to use tempo. He doesn't have a feel for when to call timeouts. He doesn't have a feel and doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything. He is in over his head in this job. He is unqualified. And if everything ever in the history of the college football universe were to break his way, he would still find a way to lose.
So you mean to tell me that when the guys went to dinner earlier this week that nothing really changed?
God, they went to dinner.
So okay, you got to catch me up. And I saw some tweets. I didn't really do any investigating. I saw the video you sent me. I didn't see any college game day.
Yeah,
I was busy doing other things, and apparently, from my sense, and we can jump in the chat. By the way, we see everybody in the chat. We appreciate you. Yes, we see Florida went 0 for 11 on third down. Horrendous. And they haven't had a 1-3 start in 45 years. Something like that. 39 years, something like that. Pre-Spurrier. It was basically, they were like, hey, Florida's got, Lagway's been hurt. And so you really can't blame the offense and Napier's offense, essentially. And that's what they'd said for about 10, 15 minutes.
Well, they just took up for him the whole time. Like, making excuses for him might be the wrong way to put it, but it was more so just like they didn't want to say anything. You could tell they didn't want to say anything negative about him in any way. It was, DJ Lagway's been hurt, so that's why he's struggling, and they hadn't practiced together. And it's so important to make sure that the quarterback practices for the 5 years, blah, blah, blah. And Kirk talking about, they've shown they all went to dinner this week, and they've had good culture, and those guys haven't quit. And it's the typical BS, right? So it wasn't necessarily like outright excuses, I would say. It was more so just that they were not willing to sit up there and say, this guy is failing the University of Florida.
Seemed like
anybody who wants to tell the truth is going to say that because he is.
It seems like in TV, for the people that don't know, you have production meetings. So like Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler, the two guys I call the game, they'll talk with the head coach. They might talk with a coordinator. They might talk with a player. It seemed like everything that Napier said and everything that was said in that production meeting was like copy and paste in the game day.
Yes, correct. And then they want to talk. They spent probably 10 minutes talking about Billy Napier and the status of the program, whatever. And it was honestly mostly just like, if you didn't know anything about how the program's been and how things are going, you would come away thinking that the status of the program is relatively positive. Like you wouldn't think it's that bad. And the irony of it was they did that segment at probably like 11:20, 11:30. And then obviously it gets to like 11:50. They're doing their picks. It gets to picks time. They unanimously pick Miami.
Well, duh.
And it's not even a question. It's not even hard. And like, we obviously all knew they were going to all pick Miami, but that's what bothers me is it's like, y'all want to sit up here and act like he's doing so much good. But when you got to put your money where your mouth is, none of y'all are going to pick him to win because he's a loser. But you're not willing to say that. That's the part that bothers me. It's like the same thing with all these coaches that sit up there and talk about, you guys just don't understand how hard it is to build a program, blah, blah. Billy Napier's doing a great job. Y'all say Billy Napier's doing a great job because every time you line up against him, you whoop his ass. Of course you like Billy Napier. Of course Kirby Smart thinks he's awesome. You think Kirby Smart doesn't enjoy having Florida be a layup every year? Of course he does. Dude, he owns Jacksonville.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Brian Kelly after the game, too. He kind of said the same thing. He's like, keep having him there. I mean, it's like, I don't know if you saw Josh Pate was talking about Florida. I mean, the guy does so many shows now. He's, to me, in my opinion, the best guy that covers college football. He's got his own show. And on one of the shows, he was like, if structurally, if you look at what Napier and Florida do from Sunday to Friday, you would think and you would sit there and say, dude, they got everything down pat. They got everything good. They got the facilities now. They got that new complex. Everything they do is good. But those 3 to 3.5 hours on Saturday don't look right. And I'm sorry, but those 3.5 hours on Saturday is like the only thing that everyone cares about. And if you can't get that part right, all the other stuff does not matter. I mean, again,
College football playoff committee don't care how you look on Wednesday afternoon.
no, they don't. And the fans don't care how on a Tuesday what your script looks like and what you think you can do to exploit the defense. I mean, again, Billy Napier is the play caller, he's the head coach, he's the quarterback coach. His offense has scored 1 touchdown each in the last 3 games. The defense, who that side of the ball he doesn't even touch, finally gets someone to be the defensive coordinator. We don't have this collaborative effort anymore. Is doing excellent. And everyone that we thought, oh, okay, receivers, quarterback, yada, 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 yada. We all thought this offensive line was going to be dominant. Guess how many offensive line coaches we have? 2. We don't have one guy. We don't have one guy that's going to say, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do. I mean, it's same thing. Different year.
Can I address a comment that I actually really like, and I'm glad he brought this up because I want to talk about it too.
Yeah, which one?
My guy from YouTube, I'm him, saying my thing is, what is Lagway always sitting on the bench? Yeah, it was Lagway sitting on the bench with his mouth open, looking like he's lost or some shit, rather than looking at the plays and the defensive formations. Yes, I brought this up during the game. Dylan, when I watch any other team in college football or the NFL for that matter, whenever they show the quarterback on the sideline after something good happened, something bad happened, something indifferent happened, he is talking to someone. He's talking to the OC, the quarterback coach, his receivers. He's talking to somebody, and he's doing something. And he's probably looking at one of those tablets and going over some things, or maybe if their OC's up in the booth, he might have a headset on. He's talking to the OC. He's doing some type of communication is being conducted. Every time you notice it too. Every time they show Lagway on the sideline, he's just sitting there.
No, he's lost. Body language is terrible.
There's nothing's going on.
Well, and the thing too, I'm sure you've seen, or maybe you haven't. I don't know if you saw Shannon Snell. He's basically, after that LSU game, he was tweeting out, and he's been on multiple podcasts, and he was on 1010XL with XL Primetime with those boys. And he's like, yeah, and a lot of players are getting pissed that Lagway is getting preferential treatment. And Napier's coaching Lagway completely different than everybody else. And, that's fine. You can be that way in September, but, that dam's going to break eventually. Just like this defense and how they're holding up right now, it's fine right now, and this offense has looked horrendous. I mean, it's awful that Florida had one drive where they did something well, and we still felt like with 6-7 minutes left in the game, we still had a shot to win the game.
Yeah. And to the point of Lagway getting preferential treatment, like, look, part of that is like that's happened forever in football, right? Like the quarterback gets preferential treatment a lot of times, especially if you're dealing with an offensive coach, right? Like that does happen. Okay. I mean, they literally wear a different color jersey in practice to not get hit, right? Like we know that quarterback is a little bit separate from the rest of the group. Like we understand that. The problem, to Shannon's point, and I really respect Shannon throughout this because he seems to be one of the only former players that is willing to call out the BS instead of just act like everything's hunky-dory because Billy Napier is nice to them. Look, the problem with that preferential treatment comes when you suck. If Lagway's out here balling, nobody cares that he gets preferential treatment. Everybody's cool with the Gatorade commercials and the Chipotle commercial with Walter Clayton Jr. When you're out here balling, But when you suck, it's like, hang on a second. How come you get treated like you're up on this pedestal and we're all down here, and you're the worst guy that contributes on the team? I mean, of the 22 positions, is quarterback not the worst one right now?
Lagway is the worst quarterback in the SEC by a wide margin.
And he's the worst starter on the Gators.
Yeah.
Of 22 positions, he is the like because I mean, you could maybe pick out some offensive line spots that have been weak, but I don't think any of them have played 5 interception bad.
No.
I don't think any of them have played 1 first down in the first half bad.
And 2 weeks ago, when people started bringing up, he should have been benched with Tramel Jones against South Florida, I was like, that's a little too far. Like, or against LSU, I was like, okay, after 3 or 4 interceptions, sometimes you need to put the guy aside and be like, okay, you're not playing good today. You just need to sit. We're gonna try someone else because somehow we have a shot still to win the game. I felt that way tonight, man. Like Tramel Jones going there, what the hell, man? I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? Because there was a point, Graham, in that fourth quarter where it's like where I saw right after they got that touchdown drive and Lagway goes to drop back for a pass. I'm like, this ain't good, and it's not going to be good. I mean, it was almost to the point where you just want to be like, just run the ball, just do something, but you can't throw it. And if I feel that way, you can only imagine what a defensive coordinator playing against it is like. Like, oh, okay, good, thank you.
Yeah, they're smelling blood, dude. You're bailing the defense out when you drop him back to pass right now, and you don't make it like some like designed easy like just snap the ball and throw it type of read. And why don't we want to use his legs more? I don't understand that.
I don't know why they didn't run more of a
the one drive that we scored a touchdown, we picked up a key 4th down with him running the ball.
Right, that 4th and 2, yeah, QB power, yeah.
Gunner HD from YouTube just brought up 6'3", 240 playing absolutely terrifying. Exactly. And I think part of it too is like that. I don't understand. I can't understand. Look, I know he's been banged up this offseason, and I know I'm not sitting here saying they need to run him like Tebow. Okay, they're not going to run him, 25 times a game or anything like. I get that, but what's wrong with maybe the first drive of the game, giving him some type of, maybe like sweep like he ran and to get that first down, or maybe just some type of QB power, or just something where he maybe gets hit a time or two and just gets in the rhythm and flow of the game. Why don't they? I don't understand why they don't want to do that more. They never even try it. It's like, again, they keep it's in the pistol. It's clap, it's turn around, it's handed to Jaden Barr, Jacoby Jackson right at the end. Maybe it works if it's blocked up well. Maybe it doesn't.
You forget emotion. You get emotion from a tight end.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes,
one side to the other.
I forgot. This is after Tony Livingston has gone from right tackle to left tackle.
Yes.
Apologies, my bad. And it's also after Jaden Barr, Jacoby Jackson ran 3 steps to the right to see if it's man or not, and then came right back in.
Yes.
I forgot about those. Apologies. But it's just that every time. And when they never run any read where Lagway keeps it. They never do that. Why? Why do they just run the same like 4 things? I don't understand. And it's always been that way since Napier's first game. It was like that. They've got like it literally feels like, here's what it feels like, Dylan. It feels like you and I playing college football 25 or 26, and I've got like 4 plays that I like, and I just run them every time.
No, it's like, when you start an Ultimate Team and you have like one playbook, and then you have to win a couple of games in order to get other playbooks.
Yes.
Like we're still stuck on the beginning playbook.
Yes. We haven't unlocked enough like coach trust.
Right. Maybe that's what's holding Napier back. He's waiting for Lagway to play better to unlock these new plays.
Yep.
We've been talking for 30 minutes. That might be the best thing I've said.
Sean from YouTube said, let's get Todd Golden to come coach the offense. How about this? We'll make a deal. If because they got to bye next week before Texas, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say
Fortunately.
assuming Florida loses to Texas because they're going to. After that game, instead of talking about football, I'll give you two. I'll give the choice is yours, Dylan. Instead of breaking down the game at that point, we'll either break down the coaching search, and
Okay.
we will speak Billy Napier getting fired into existence, or we can just talk about basketball.
Let's just talk basketball.
All right.
Dude, we're 7 weeks. November 3rd is the first game. We're right here.
That's what I was hoping you'd say. Like we're not far away from watching Xavier Lee and Boogie Flan and Thomas Houck and the boys. At this point, let's just look forward to the one sport that we seem to have figured out.
Yeah.
Vernon Maxwell, he's back.
He is.
Vernon Maxwell back.
Record breaker.
That's the one thing I needed. That's the one Gator sports thing that's kept me sane this week. Is at least I had something positive to go off of.
Yes. And well, I've ran out of words, and I want to go watch Prosser and Hicken yell at each other on swamp sessions.
Yep.
And I want to see every other Gator fan that does content lose their mind. I know I'm not good at being emotional.
That's what I'm here.
It's like I texted you, Graham, dude. I've become numb. I was at a watch party for the first half downtown, and I'm just sitting there by myself, just cross-eyed, just cross my arms, whatever.
That's for everybody. That's how Dylan watches games, anyways. Even games he's invested in, that's how he watches.
Yeah. And one dude walks up to me and he goes, "It's all right, man. I'm a Clemson fan." I'm like, "Oh, yours was worse because you had a lightning delay, so you had an hour and a half to simmer on it, and then still, lose." And then two other people came to me. They're like, one dude was just shooting, having a conversation. He goes, "Dude, what's the problem? I mean, this is terrible." And I'm like, "Yeah, this and Napier and the offense and yada, yada, yada." It's just like, and this is the first half. So this is the bad parts. I mean, it's like, and every fan feels the same exact way, man. It's horrible. It's terrible. I just want to know, can this continue for 12 games? I mean, you would feel like at some point, coaching be damned, like somebody can make some plays at some point.
Well, I don't even care about that. I mean,
I don't either. I'm just talking.
No, I know, I get you. But like, here's the thing, Dylan. Like, they're gonna win a couple games that they shouldn't.
Yes, so this is what I said before this game. I said, and this is gonna be tough. I said Florida would be 3-4 at the bye before they play Georgia because that's just what this Billy Napier team does.
Yeah, I mean they might be like they're gonna pull a Texas A&M win out of their ass, or they might pull the Texas win out of their ass because Arch didn't look good, or like they're gonna win a game or two they're not supposed to down this stretch because they just have too many opportunities not to. But what I care about is, can the noise get loud enough to where Strickland's not going to have a choice but to get rid of this guy?
No,
I don't think so either. But because I mean,
this is how it happens.
We haven't even mentioned it because it's not worth mentioning because we know he's not going to. But like Dylan, now would be the time.
Yeah,
they just lost by double digits to a rival for the second straight week, and obviously the USF game before that, and now they have a bye. Like, now's the time. And the defensive coordinator looked decent. Like, you could justify firing Napier right now and then just making Roberts the interim for, the rest of the season or whatever. Like, now would be an appropriate time to do it. And we haven't even mentioned it, and I'm sure all the other post-game shows and stuff haven't mentioned it because they know he's not going to do it.
No. I mean, let's be honest. Strickland lucked into hiring Todd Golden, and every other hire he's had since he's been the AD has been horrendous. And I could just see a world, man. Somehow Billy goes 6-6 or close to it, and they bring his ass back. I mean, the only way I feel like they're going to fire him mid-season, it would probably be the week before that Georgia game. is the boosters, they just say enough is enough, and they say how much is the buyout, and that's how they do it. Because I don't think it's going to come from Scott Strickland saying, I've had enough. I'm going to make the decision and then go from there. At least in season.
It's probably easy for me to say this now since I don't work at 1010XL anymore. So I'll make this my words, not yours, but you're probably going to agree with me anyways. It's nothing that bad I'm about to say. Scott Strickland doesn't care about winning.
No, he doesn't.
He's not,
and that's not a hot take.
He's not committed to winning. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the University of Florida football program winning. And when I say that, I don't mean that he wouldn't like to win. Of course he would. Of course everyone would like to win. But it doesn't, like, look, I get the sense, I'm not inside of his head, but I get the sense based on his actions. I don't care about what he says. I care about what he shows me. That tells me way more than what he says, right? His actions over the time that he has been the AD of Florida tells me that he's going to sleep just fine tonight. This isn't going to bother him to his core, right? When Jeremy Foley was the AD, Jeremy Foley late in his time had his flaws, and I think we all agree with that. But for the majority of his time at Florida, you got the sense that when Florida lost in a significant sporting event, it pissed him off. And he was, like, not okay, right? I mean, we don't talk about coaches. I mean, Jesus, Urban, like, losing made Urban physically ill.
Dude, he went to the hospital after the SEC title in 2009.
Right, exactly. So I get the sense that Billy Napier and Scott Strickland, after this game, they're both going to sleep just fine. And that's wrong. I'm sorry, it's wrong. This is big-time college football. This is the SEC. You are supposed to be one of the premier programs in the SEC. That needs to bother you. That needs to not be okay. That needs to be unacceptable. And you got to say enough is enough. This is over. We have to go in a different direction where I feel like we can steer the ship in the correct way. And it might not mean we're going to win a national championship next year, because people love to bring up that and act like we're a spoiled, ungrateful, rotten fan base. But I got to hire somebody where I believe we're going in a proper direction, because we're clearly not.
Yeah, and every fan doesn't think that we're going to get that if they fire Napier. I mean, there's not a lot of hope that they're going to hire the right person. I mean, like I've said 100 times, my list would be Lane Kiffin 1, 2, 3, but that's not going to happen, man. It's just not going to happen. So, how fun.
Is anybody else? Last thing, and I'll let you go because I know we've been on for a while. I know you want Lane Kiffin, but is there somebody else that would tickle your fancy?
Hell, Dabo right now.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, but I don't know how realistic that actually is. But
yeah, I don't think it is either.
Who have, like, because, like, would Alex Golish, like, interest you at all, for example? I don't think so either.
No. Eli Drinkwitz, no.
I want a Power 5 guy.
Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State, okay.
Yes.
The thing is, man, I don't.
That would be a home run hire.
I mean, USC dropped their nuts. They went and got a coach from Oklahoma. LSU dropped their nuts and got a coach from Notre Dame. You're in the state of Florida. You have IMG, not even 2 hours driving distance down the road, which, by the way, Mike Norvell was at IMG Mandarin yesterday, and then he was at Nice and St. Augustine. Those 4 teams probably have, God, I'd probably say over 50 D1 kids. And it's like, where's our guy, man? Like, and once again, the most talented roster Billy Napier's had. Spot the ball. 1 and 3. Graham. This is bad. This is the worst offense I've seen. And it's only in September. And we still have 8 games. And we still have Texas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State. Am I missing one?
You might be. I don't remember.
I think in November.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about. Did you say Kentucky?
No, I did not say Kentucky. I don't think we play them, do we? We didn't play them last year. Oh wait, yes, we did play them last year.
Yeah, we play Kentucky. We
play
at
we beat the piss out of them. One thing, I'm glad, with the way the season's gone. I'm glad I didn't get season tickets, and I'm glad I didn't buy tickets for Florida, Texas, and pay $300 like some people.
Yeah.
Boy, I'd be pissed.
Mm-hmm. Same. What a joke, dude.
Oh. All right, Graham. Enjoy your weekend. Drink to these sorrows, and cheers to going 0 for 11 on third down.